Okay, so I've been having a really hard time just getting started today. My body is super sore from working out yesterday. I even took a bath to get it all flushed out, and I was thinking about how I was thinking about time. And like, if you could freeze time, what would that be? What would that experience actually be like? Would it be lonely? If you're the only person that can move through the world and everybody else is frozen, and like, yeah, you could read as many books as you want, or you could learn any skill, but like, would you have to hide it so that people wouldn't get suspicious? Like, would you have to remember exactly where you left, like exactly where you were when you stopped time, when you like unstop it, you know? And some of the value I got from that was understanding that a lot of my procrastination or fear about being organized is actually about time. And, you know, it seems efficient in the moment to just go for it and get it done. But it's inefficient when you need to like go back to something because where did I put that file? What did I name it? If I move the file, the whole video project is like ruined, right? And then it feels inefficient to think about it and go, okay, what system do I need and what's going to work over the long term, and like to sort of project into the future about something that you don't really know a whole lot about yet. Just think about that. And it's interesting how if it comes to money and helping other people, I'm all about it. If it comes to helping myself, I'm kind of all about that too, because I'll scroll through YouTube all day long to help myself. But if it's about money and helping myself, or money and taking care of myself, I'm gonna find every way. Like the dishes have to be done first, or there's just no way that I could do both. You know, if I do both, then I'm sort of like a snake oil salesman, or how dare I ask for money for my services? How dare I ask for more money for services that I provide, that I actually do really well and I actually put a lot of thought and effort into? The other day, I was waking up 3 in the morning thinking about my client's social media campaign. And I'm like, do they even think about this? I'm sure they have other things to think about, but like, I'm invested to the point where I'm thinking about it at 3 a.m. I don't know if every person they would hire for their campaign would do that. I don't know if that means I didn't do something right. I don't know if that means... I think it meant that I didn't close my day and get really clear on what I had left to do. But nevertheless, I'm knowing I have to get more clients. I'm knowing I have to not just provide value, but succinctly communicate that value that I provide in a way that feels believable enough for me to have conviction about it, and that I know that I can like over deliver on. And this is coming from somebody who doesn't even want to edit his own videos. Not even paying attention to like where I'm kind of paying attention to where my face is coming into the frame. Anyway, watched a video by Joe Hudson last night about this guy who had this similar... He would procrastinate when it came to like his own stuff because it meant something to him. It meant that he's responsible. It meant that if he's successful, he might get overwhelmed, which then might mean he might fail. And if he fails at the thing that's most important to him, then, he won't be able to provide for his family. And that creates its own stuck point. The coach, Joe Hudson, was like, what if you enjoyed it? It's like that question, like, what if it were easy? What if it were inevitable? And the whole thing about time, that whole, like, journey that I was taking in my bath about slowing down was like what would that person who spent 3 decades knowing how to stop time, like, how would their perspective be about the world and about how people look at him? Right? Like, he definitely wouldn't be on the same rat race, right? And, like, other people might think he's slow, unintelligent. It's like the theory of relativity, right? Like, somebody's traveling at the speed of light. Well, that person who's traveling at the speed of light thinks that everybody else is going super slow. And like, the first things, not the first things maybe, but I'm sure I'm not the only one who thinks, like, okay, if I could stop time, like, whose pants would I pull down, right? Like, that's kind of like a silly, who would I make, like, pick their nose or whatever. But, like, wow, if you could stop time, like, what actually could you accomplish? What actually would you want to accomplish? Like, what skill would you want to learn? What would you finally do that you always said you didn't make time for? Would you age faster than everybody else? Would this be something that you have to, like, negotiate with a genie if, like maybe your first wish is make sure I'm not making a dumb wish. Like, make sure my other 2 wishes are really good, right? If the second wish was to stop time, like, would the third wish be, can I go back and relive my life, but this time I'm just enjoying it? And it's important because there's so much time that's wasted in just an anxiety. I have to chase this thing. We have to improve this. I have to watch these 6 YouTube videos to understand something, or to scratch the itch of this gnawing question that I already know the answer to, but I'm not giving myself permission to feel. So, and it's like, I don't give myself enough permission to feel that sense of, like, everything's happening in time. I think people who are craftsmen and have learned, people in, for instance, like, people in ballet, like, they know all, like, they've been doing it, the same thing every day, same moves every day. It slowly progresses. There's a continuum of progression. And I kind of came in like, where am I? What do I know? This? Do I know that? Do I know this? Do I know that? And there's not been, like, that strategic discipline that happens just from, like, being in the environment. Like, I have a bachelor's degree just because I was in the environment that said, go to school every day until you're in 12th grade, and all through high school they're like, you better go to college, and like, that was the environment, right? If I was in some other environment, I might have a different type of education completely. So, and I don't go, oh, I really need my bachelor's degree, right? Like, who will I be when I have the thing that I say that I need in order to progress? And what's the problems? What's the reality? What's the what's the feeling that I finally get from being, the Rick six-pack dude that has all the eyes on him. Like, those guys also are figuring out what they gotta eat, who actually loves them, what, how they're gonna make money. Like, there's another step for them, right? And I'm using some of these goals that I have as excuses to not go for what I want to go for. And that's their purpose. Like, I'm asking those goals to serve that purpose so that I don't have to move forward. Because moving forward might mean that I actually have the dream as a reality. And then that reality is like much less exciting. And I find out, oh, I had been wasting all that time. And now I have to grieve it. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you. I was like, you know what, if it was easy, what if the dream, right, is to just like make money doing not a lot? And what if I'm already adding value? What if what I'm doing is already adding value? What if, there's this idea that it has to be hard. And the people are making billions, like, it's, at this point, once they get a certain threshold, I don't think it's hard anymore. But I wrote down, actually, I bought a bunch of fake money. I bought like maybe like $40 worth of just play for movies. Like, I think this is like for motion picture purposes money. And so that I could play with the childlike version of myself and get a very tangible concept of money, which is something that with credit cards and bank accounts and people in the news talking about trillions of dollars, like, there's not a way for our brains to really conceptualize it. And so I bought a bunch and I laid it out and I was like, I had this goal for like $10,000 days. So what does that look like? And I literally sat here and counted up the money and I got bored counting the money. Like, if my job was to count money all day, even if I got $10,000 a day for it, like, would I hate it? Would I hate it? Probably, yeah. So, but it's just interesting. I mean, it didn't take me that long, but I was like, 1, 2, 3. And then I'm like, well, what does this money mean to me? And that's what I wanted to make the video about, was like, if someone just handed me $10,000 and said, hey, this $10,000 is because you're you. And it's really valuable. And I know, like, as I was counting it, I was like, I know that I'm worth more than $10,000 to the people in my life. I'm worth more than that. And if somebody handed me that much money, I mean, people cry over that kind of money, right? Would I... And even the idea when I was like, okay, maybe pay yourself $10,000 today. I was like, I was scrolling on YouTube. I didn't even finish videos that I was watching on YouTube. Like, why? I'm tired. I haven't done anything. I haven't done anything for somebody else. So, I don't know what these tears are right now. I don't know. But I kind of know. What would I spend that $10,000 on? Would I hold it? Would I save it? Would I give it away so that I don't feel like I'm like it's oh, it's not mine, you know? Would I spend it on a great personal trainer and delicious, nutritious food? Like what kind of food would I buy if I was making $10,000 a day? Not that I need to like hike up my grocery bill right now, but so much of my life, what I eat is determined on what the cost of it is. Like literally yesterday, I could have had, like yesterday, Monday, I could have had like an artisan chicken Milanese sandwich with like onion jam. Oh, that's $19. I can't have that. Let me walk 6 more minutes to the Taco Bell and eat one chalupa that's almost burnt and another chalupa that wasn't cooked at all. Should I return that chalupa? No, I already took a bite out of it. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to wait. Blah, blah, blah. And it's not like it's those kinds of decisions like over your whole life, right? It's not just can I afford Nike shoes? It's that I'm looking at every single person with Nike shoes and saying, I'm not them. I could not be them. And then wondering, like, how come I don't have self confidence? Right? And the shoes don't, like, do they matter that much? Da, da, da. But, you know, and we could go into, like, the programming of capitalistic, like, marketing. And how it shouldn't have an effect on us, but it does. It has a profound effect. And literally people are banking on the effects. And I'm trying to figure out how to bank on the effect so that somebody pays me money to make them more money. And so whether I'm a part of the service or the product or the marketing, like I'm about making someone's lives better or providing some sort of value. And value also equals trust. Money equals trust. And living in a world where like that trust is like severely broken across a lot of institutions, right? So maybe I need to find some like crypto coin equivalent to this because I don't even understand. But whether it's crypto or it's money, like it's all like a symbol of trust. It's all a symbol of value, like how we as a collective society say this is valuable. Crypto's a great example of that because crypto is really only valuable because enough people say crypto is valuable, or certain people say that it's valuable. Yeah. And I just realized that while there's not like a clear organization, like this side is organized differently than this side, right? But like I naturally organized it. Is it the perfect organization? No. But it's enough for the child in me to understand. It's enough for the child in me to understand that the adult, higher dimension, higher 10x version of me is saying, hey, I'm taking the time to understand something that and help you understand something that was overlooked or misunderstood as a child. And we're going to work through this together. And you're going to see that you're more valuable than all of these fake dollar bills combined. And that we're going to get into like the actual trust behind them. So, I'm tired of holding this camera. Thanks for getting here. And I really hope that more people in this world really understand their intrinsic value and come closer to the pleasure of getting to know themselves, their younger selves, their hurt selves, their wounded selves, and have enough compassion that they've built from their friends or their colleagues or from the attention of other people to bring attention to themselves and understand who they are. And have the grace to look at themselves with a firm compassion. And if we did more of that, I think we'd see less people. I think we'd see less enemies. We'd stop seeing other people as enemies. We'd see the idea as an enemy. We'd see the traumatic thinking, the thinking that comes from trauma, the thinking that comes from limiting beliefs, it's the thinking that comes from fear. We'd start seeing that more as the enemy and allowing each other to unhook ourselves from these strings that are pulling us that we don't even realize. So, if I was at all any part of that for you, I love that. Like, that means a lot. So, okay. So, go do some of that. Do whatever your intuition is trying to tell you to do. Because making a painting, making a piece of art, listening to a song, dancing in your living room, these are ephemeral things that nobody can quantify their value. But it can unlock something in you that can give you the permission to create a new set of identity and a belief in who you are and what you want to be. And you're proving it with some kind of action. And every little bit counts. Okay, thanks.